boy was sleeping in his bed when he woke up and heard footsteps outside his room. He peeked out to see what was happening when his door swung open to reveal a murderer carrying corpses of his parents. After silently propping them up on a chair, he wrote something on the wall in the blood of the dead bodies. He then hid under the child's bed. The child got scared beyond belief. He couldn't read the writing on the wall, and he knew the man was under his bed. Like any child, he pretended that he slept through the whole thing and hadn't woken up yet. He laid still as the bodies quietly hearing the breaths from under his bed. An hour passed, and his eyes got ejected to the darkness. He tried making out the words, but it was a struggle. He gasped when he finally read out the sentence. It wrote, "I know you're awake." He read as he felt something shift underneath his bed. I got my first pair of glasses last week. My parents didn't think I needed them at first, but the doctor said that there was something wrong with more than just my eyes that was apparently pretty common, and that I needed specifically glasses that worked for me. He told me it's for my own good. He said that many people were never given the chance to see the way I would, so I was lucky to get them. I thought he meant cars and faraway words would become less blurry, but over the span of a couple days, many more things have become more clear. I started seeing nightmare creatures all around. I'd never seen them there before, like in the corners of my room and in the dark parking lots. I took my glasses off for the first day today, and let me say, it's amazing how quickly demons and creatures turn into trees and shadows. I know I'm not seeing the truth, but I'm a simple person. I'd rather things remain blurry just the way it is for everyone else. We didn't question why the small town we'd found after getting lost in the countryside wasn't on the map. We didn't question why the shopkeeper in town didn't have eyebrows or hair on his head. We didn't question why he looked so strangely at us. We didn't question why the gas at the station we stopped was so cheap. We didn't question why the clerk at the station insisted on making a phone call in the back before ringing a bus. We didn't question why the man outside by our car let us know that the sun was going down. We didn't question why so many people stood on the street watching us leave their town behind. We didn't question why we began pulling our own hair and why we decided to turn back to the town. Now we know why. I always had a problem with sleeping growing up. Many times I'd get sleep paralysis, but after I blessed my room, it hasn't happened in months. This happened to me about a year ago. I woke up in the middle of the night for frozen. If I tried to move, I'd really get loud ringing noise in both my ears. It would get louder each time I moved. I was terrified. I was too scared to open my eyes, but I felt a presence of someone in the room with me. I open my eyes and see a very tall and dark figure with two horns on each side of his head, just standing there in the corner of my room, facing me. I panic and try to move my body. The ringing gets louder and louder and louder, and I can feel myself crying. I close my eyes and my head starts saying, God will protect me. God will protect me. Then I heard a low, evil voice say, God can't help you anymore. I first met my wife in high school. Her beautiful, sparkling eyes drew me in. They were a reflection of heaven, and her voice of angels. I proposed after we graduated from college, and we planned our future together. But things have changed since then. She's been acting strange lately. In bed, she'd toss and turn all night, muttering under her breath. Some nights, I'd hear other strange noises, like faint screams. I still loved her though. We decided to get married. We decided to get married at our local church. Before I knew it, I was sitting at the altar for her to walk down the aisle. I nodded to the priest and signaled to the men sitting in front. We pinned her on top of the altar as the priest wrapped her arms and legs in chains. She hissed and howled, her body writhing in agony. The priest grasped the crucifix in front of her face and began the recitation. I wasn't going to let her go. I wanted my wife back. Jacob decided to stay at home when his mother went out. She told him to go to bed at 11, but unfortunately he couldn't hear her over the sound of his music. Jacob waved his mother goodbye as she closed the door. Jacob spent an hour and a half playing with his phone. Games, YouTube videos, movies, music. He even texted his best friend for a while until she's no longer replied. He didn't pay any attention to the time until his phone hit 10%. Jacob realized that his mother never called or texted him in all the time that he had his phone. Jacob sent her a message. Hey, no reply. He was confused as to why she wouldn't answer him. She always answered her phone. His confusion chilled as night fell and midnight rose. He sent another, Mom, where are you? Again, no answer. Sweetie? A familiar voice rang out from behind the couch. It sounded like his mother's, but it wasn't. Not entirely. It was wrapped, curdling like folded tin foil. Jacob jumped and spun around. Only thick, black hair to consume his sight. Why haven't you gone to bed?